Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome in. Let me make sure I got my volume turned up here. Yep, what's up? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. Oh, Miss Liberty, I'm not talking to you. I love you, though. Hey, Terry. Hey, Jeff. Love ya. All right, so I'm not going to play a Bible video tonight, not of anything we're studying, because it seems to me everybody's doing a great job. I read a little bit today, but tonight I'm going to show Liberty. Please stop, honey. Don't. No, stop. Let's see, what am I going to show? Let me move this up because I can't see nothing. Come on. I can't get down there. Oh, down. All right, hold on a minute. I'm having issues here. What's going on? All right, let's do it this way. Just make that smaller and bring that up. There we go. Okay. He's been very annoying today. Oh, Christopher. We are going to watch a couple news things that happened today. Something that's very dear to my heart will be the first thing I play. And then we will watch uh, Jesus, the Soul Shepherd. It's very interesting. Hey, Tamara, welcome in. Good to see you. Love you. But this first one is very dear to me. Very dear to me. So I'm going to play it first. I don't know. You guys probably don't know, but I follow Tim Tebow. I love Tim Tebow. He was so good for the Florida Gators. His father passed away, and what he had to say about it, so true. So true. Such a fine young man. We need more people in the world like him. So I'm going to play that video here in a few, and I pray everybody's good today. It was kind of chilly this morning. It ended up being a little bit warmer today, but cloudy and off and on rain today. So I haven't done much. I haven't been outside other than to get the mail. I haven't really done much of nothing except play with the puppy. I really thought you were going to take a nap, but I guess you're not going to, are you? Oh. You always think I'm talking to you. She chewed up my notebook that I had everything in the pen, everything I had written in the notebook. She chewed it up. And I'm sitting right here beside her, and I didn't know she was doing that. And my pen, she chewed it all up. So I don't have anybody's names anymore. I don't have my notes. She chewed up like 4 pages. I don't have nothing. Not even a pen to write with. She got in trouble. Melanie, welcome in. Good to see you. Love you. Pray everybody's well today. We'll give it about 5 more minutes and then we'll get started. We'll open with a prayer and then I'll start doing my thing. So the video we're going to watch at the end is from Expedition Bible. It's pretty interesting. Then tomorrow night there's a few other ones we're going to watch, but it's like different medicines from the Bible that we can use today and different things like that. And then Tuesday we can watch part 2, I guess it's called, of I see. Part 2 of what was we on? What are we on? Not Corinthians. Forget. I forget. I don't have my notes. We can watch part 2 of it. I'll remember it. I'm just having a bad memory day. Thank you, Darlene. Yes, she was very bad today. She got in trouble because she had a big old hunk of paper in her mouth when I caught her. She refused to spit it out. So I had to open up her mouth and get it out because I did not want her to eat any more paper. And she tried to bite me. She tried to bite me. So I said, bad girl, and I put her in her kennel. And she had to stay in there for about a half an hour. And I put the blanket over it so she couldn't see what I was doing. She would just whine every now and then. He knew. Because usually if I say drop it, she'll just spit it out. But no, not that. She thought she was going to eat the rest of that paper. So now I got to keep everything up away from her. Hey, Christopher, welcome in. Good to see you. Love you. I hear you've been a real pistol today. Hi, Susan. Love you. Whoever else is on Rumble, I love you too. So we'll do a refresher on Tuesday, and Tina will be finishing it up on Wednesday. I haven't even took the time to go eat today. I've been looking for an apartment all day, and that's almost impossible. I found a really nice one in the next town over. I mean, it was so nice, but it's quite expensive. But man, it was nice. But it was upstairs. And I saw all them stairs, and I'm like, nope, 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 can't do that. I ain't walking up all them steps. But it was nice. It was over 900 square feet, 1 bedroom, bathroom, living room, a huge dining room, which I would have just made my studio because the kitchen's big enough to put a table in. Bit Bite, welcome in. Good to see you. Love you. So I probably spent about 5 hours today looking for something. I did find one, but it's not exactly what I want. But if I don't hear from them Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, then I'm just gonna go rent something else because I can't wait till the last minute. I sent them an email, so we'll see what's going on. So I want to play this video for you, as long as the puppy doesn't mess it up, because she's right here. Let's see what we got. Where is it? I guess I better put it up here first before I try to share it. Is that it? Yes, this is it. Okay, let me put it back down. It's just why is it not showing up? Oh, because it's in Windows? No. Where is it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm trying to find it, guys. I know it's here. Everything else is here, but that one. Oh, right here. Maybe this is it. Yes. Okay, this is amazing. You just have to listen to this.
Tim Tebow's father has passed away, but it's what Tim said on social media about his dad that's resonating with people around the world. Heaven ushered in a hero of faith last night as my dad was welcomed home. Many will say sorry for your loss, but the truth is he's not lost. We know exactly where he is. He's home forever. I asked him last week what he looked forward to most about heaven, and he simply said, Jesus. He couldn't wait to see Jesus face to face. Praise God that his wait is over. Death has been swallowed up in victory. He's healed and whole now. So we don't mourn as those with no hope. See you soon, Dad. All right,
Aw.
Billy, what did you think about that post?
You know, I got to be honest, I don't get very emotional very often, but when I was reading it, it got me a little bit because it is exactly how we should respond when a Christian dies, right? Knowing exactly where his father is. He's mourning, of course. He's going to miss his dad. You know, his dad was suffering and dealing with an illness, obviously, for a while. But the point is, we know as Christians that through Jesus, we have eternity and that we really aren't dying. Our physical bodies are dying, but we're getting to be with Jesus, and that his father was looking forward to that was the thing he couldn't wait for, to meet Jesus face to face. And so, you know, this gives me a lot of hope and encouragement. I think a lot of people out there, if you're watching or listening to this, maybe you're afraid to die. I think fear of death is very normal, but as Christians, you know, trying to sort of pull back from that to see the fuller picture of what we're promised. And so that's something the Tebows, they've always lived their faith out very well publicly. And I think even in death are showing that they truly understand what the gospel says, what scripture says. And it just gave me a lot of personal encouragement, actually, despite it obviously being a very sad event for that family.
Well, Tim, if you're watching this, just know that we're praying for your family. And we also thank you for this post because it's such a window of truth, right? Which is the idea that this is all temporary, and if we have our eyes fixed on eternity, it makes everything else in this world make sense, and also not have the anxiety and the fear, as you were mentioning, Billy, attached to it. And man, what, as a father of 3 boys, actually, Tim, what a man! To have my sons say that about me when my time comes, what more could you ask for?
That's legacy. That is legacy. Yeah.
Legacy. What an incredible testimony, man. Just to think about my 3 boys. But I think what's really interesting is obviously Tim Tebow has won a Heisman Trophy. Tim Tebow has won multiple national championships with the Florida Gators. Tim Tebow played in the.
What's going on? I'll play that later. A live feed, I didn't see anything. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Because when I had this up, I can't see what's going on. I have to look on my phone. What happened? I'll play that later. Oh God, I can't find it. Hi Tina, love you. Good to see you. Oh no, what happened? Jamie mentioned shots fired at the courts. Oh no. All right, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Give me a minute. That down. Hold on, let me see. See if anybody's covering it. Well, I don't know where to go because I don't see nobody covering it. Not on YouTube anyway. Everybody, if you know who's got it, let me know because I haven't found it yet. White House, YouTube, or Fox. All right, let me go to White House. Nope. White House does not have it. It's got other things about the correspondence dinner, but nothing. They're all still inside according to this one, but I don't know if it's live. So let me go to Fox News. Why does nobody have it? Tracy, if you're what are you watching it on? YouTube.com. Oh, BitBite. What do you got here? Yeah, that's I saw that at the White House, but let me try it again. I'll put that up there. I'm confused. These people don't look like there's a gunman out there anyway. At least not what I'm watching. Let me go back to YouTube. CNN? Wait, hold on. No, I'm not seeing it. For some reason. I got CNN Live today, breaking news. I see nothing about a gunman. I see everything else. I'm confused. Yeah, I can't do nothing with that link because I'm on my laptop. And I don't know how to put it over onto my laptop from a cell phone. So I won't be able to show it. And I don't know who is it. ESW officials. Right, let me see that. ESW. It's bringing up shoes. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Oh well, I guess we can I don't know. I can't find it. I'm on my laptop streaming. I'm not on my phone streaming, so I can't even it doesn't do me no good to click that link because nothing happens. I'll look, but I don't know. I'm looking. Oh, come on. All right, here's this here from C-SPAN. All right, hold on. I don't know how long this is, if it's live, but we're gonna find out. God, I have to do so much different things when you're on the. All right, AP breaking news. Let me share this. Share screen. Oh, goodness. Are you kidding me? I can't even. Yeah, I'm watching it. This is C. Well, you guys already see it. C-SPAN. Thank you, Tina. Were they inside when they did it, or I don't know where they were because I missed it trying to find everything. Because I need to get Google on here instead of this stupid people here. They don't show you anything. Did they get the person or people that did it? In the lobby, okay. Yeah, I'm sure of that, Jamie. Well, somebody's going to pay the price for letting this happen. That's for sure. Security, somebody. That's how I feel about it. Thanks for letting us know, Jamie. The hate is bad. You're absolutely right. I don't even bother going and looking at stuff like that because you usually get all the haters in there and I get too upset. Oh, it's over? Are you kidding?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Board and General Counsel of the White House Correspondents Association. Attorney Simon Lakovich. Sarah Cook of CBS News. Andy Harding from
Hi,
Getty
Priscilla.
Images.
Love you. Good to see you. Yeah, they have.
Mark
Tina.
Lima of CBS News.
Why is all CBS there? They hate Trump.
Jackie Heinrich of Fox News.
Yay.
From Bloomberg, Justin Singh.
Yes, he was, Tina.
The White House Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt.
Yay.
From ABC News, Karen Travers.
Boo.
Trevor Honeycutt from Reuters. Courtney Subramanian from Bloomberg News. From Time Magazine, Brian Bennett. And join us in welcoming the president of the White House Correspondents Association from CBS News, Weijia Zhang. The headliner for this evening, mentalist Oz Perlman. And now please welcome the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Yay. Well, I haven't heard, I haven't really paid attention to the news lately.
and gentlemen, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump.
Oh, really, Tina? Wow, I didn't know that. 5 minutes, all right. We'll get back over to it here. Uh-oh, where's my mouse? Liberty, give me that. What happened?
It's time for Lefties Losing It. And
Is that it? What? Liberty, come on, get down. I can't tell if it was over if you messed it up. Why do you do that? Stop it. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. Instead of playing that movie, I'll play everything I find for the other one. She jumped right on it, so I don't know if it was over or not. I'm going to get ready for the national anthem. Sorry, my puppy. I don't know if she did it or if it just went off. I don't know which it was. And right now she's biting my face. Do you guys want, we have to do the national anthem though. We got 3 minutes and I got to get this set up. I mean, I have it set up, but I got to fix this so we can see the national anthem. There we go. Okay. It's so hard to do anything with this puppy because she thinks she can climb all over the computer like it's nothing. And she jumped from the pillow right on the computer and then it went off. I wish StreamYard would let me click on a link, but it won't. It will not let me click on the link. It takes it away. So we're getting ready to do the national anthem. As soon as I find it, there it is. Nope. Yep, that's it. Two minutes. I gotta get my stuff situated here. It'll be all over the news here, if it isn't already. Okay, I'll get it. As soon as all this is over with, I'll get it. I can't get it right now because I'm getting ready to play this. Does anybody know if they caught the person that did it? Thank you, Tina. He's dead. Oh, jeez. All right. Should be any minute. I can't see that. I've been on this laptop all day. Okay, thank you, BitBite. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we walk. and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let me put that back there, get the other one. Darn it, I forgot the music. Is he supposed to be there, Jamie? Or turn my microphone back on. Get rid of this. Let me go to my email. I'll go to my email and I'll be right back. What? It's not here, Tina. So, let's do this one. Nope. It's not here. I don't know which one you sent it to. Did you send it to my Pulse Point one that you always send my stuff to? Because nothing's there. I just looked. I'll look again. I'll look again. Let me see. Inbox. There's 4 in there. Okay, here we go. So the last one is better. It says better one. Gotcha. Right, we're gonna put that down. Where's my StreamYard? Okay, here we go. Get rid of that. It should be right here because I didn't. All right. I kicked myself out of StreamYard. Or at least it's not on my laptop. Oh, great. I got to get rid of one. All right. I think I got it. Jeez, what a day. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta do it again. As my mouse fell off the pillow and flicked it off. So I go back and get it. Let's
Hey, I'm here. I just lost it.
I just got a little clicker. It came up and said they're getting ready to resume.
I'm going to give you a different set of earbuds. Sure. Okay. Say hi to Wade, and then let's call him. We're going to call back again on your phone because my battery's gone. Ready? Oh. No. Here's the phone number. 202-748-8003.
Yeah, this is crazy. All right, so was anybody shot? Did anybody get hit by these bullets? Does anybody know? The shooter? Good. Although now we'll never know who put him up to it, or her, whichever it was, or a he, she, they, them, LGBTQ plus RWZ, double Z. There we go. It's better.
No.
Yes, we do, Priscilla. Yes, we do. Oh, really? SL20? That's right. Dead men tell no tales. Man, my eyes are so bad. I'm doing. I just need a lot of prayer for a place to live because nobody's getting back with me, and I'm getting stressed out. Although I did read my Bible today, and God says He's got it, so but I can't help it because I don't want Joey to put off his plans because of me. I would feel horrible. Just lots of prayers, please. I found one apartment, but they haven't contacted me. But it is the weekend. It's super small.
So what I know is that we were seated on the upper rim of the ballroom, and we heard a succession of pops. It sounded like an apparent gun shooting. We saw folks get down to the ground, and after those shots rung out, I actually looked at the dais, and I saw President Trump, and he hadn't yet been evacuated. This, of course, just happened a couple of seconds after. It was really quick timing. Secret Service moved to remove him from the room, and then we saw them trying to basically climb over the tables. And if folks can see the room, the tables are pretty close together. People were seated, some on the ground, but really questioning what was happening. It was a confusing time. I talked to some officials down in the bowl here, and they said they actually didn't hear calls. And so it was a lot of confusion. I talked to one administration official who said the first thing that they heard, they were seated closer to the stage, was the sound of running, not actually the pop. So everyone's kind of hearing something different inside of the room. But you saw the Secret Service agents climbing over the tables, trying to remove the cabinet officials. We saw Secretary of HHS, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being removed. Marco Rubio, they were trying to find him in the ballroom being removed. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth being removed.
All these individual details.
All of these folks being removed. And I mean, just for folks to witness it, obviously we have these cameras running, but it both felt like it happened so quickly, and also it took a lot of time because of the formation of these tables.
Have you gotten any information more than we've heard from Wei Zhejiang about this continuing? What we know was the announcement saying this will continue in some way, and we have also heard that the president wants to come back.
Yeah, so we have heard that the president wants to come back. Our sourcing, some say that he is confirmed to come back, some say that he wants to come back. But obviously, I talked to one administration official still left in the room tonight who said that whether or not he does come back because of Secret Service, they believe that he wants to come back because this would now be his third assassination attempt. And this would be a moment for him to be president and show America that he is still here. Of course, the question of whether or not Secret Service wants him back in the room, whether or not it would be okay, whether or not they feel we've heard that they believe that their threat is neutralized, but whether or not Secret Service feels confident enough to put him back in the room is one thing, but we have heard that he wants to be back.
Peter, I just heard you. You're heading out. Jasmine, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This mic is not working. Peter says
Live in your court, we do have breaking news out of Washington, D.C. The latest from the White House Correspondents' Center, the Secret Service has a person in custody after shots fired at the Correspondents' Dinner. We are now just learning details. It is all brand new. Let's bring in John Roberts. He's on the phone with me right now. John, what can you tell us more about this shooting?
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention, please be seated. The program will resume. Dinner service will begin momentarily. We appreciate your patience. Please take your seats. The program will begin. Wisha Zhang will be at the podium shortly. Dinner service will begin momentarily.
Hey, Kathy, welcome in. I don't like it. Hey, Kathy, welcome in. There's so much stuff going on. My mind doesn't work fast enough to be able to find this stuff like this. That's why I need more monitors and probably a home computer. I think you're right, SL20. I believe so. I've been saying that for a long time, but everybody just sits around. By the time Cindy, welcome in. Good to see you. Love you. By the time people decide to stand up, it's going to be too late. I heard there's like a bunch of mosques going up in Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention, please take your seat. Dinner service will begin momentarily. We will have an update from the podium. Please take your seat. Thank you so much. We appreciate your patience.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, hit the like button. Share it out. That's right, bit by hit it. Good job, Christopher. We have 12 watching. I don't know how many's in chat. And we have 9 likes. And 0 shares that I can see. I know Susan always shares it on Rumble. And Darlene shares. We get more views on Rumble than we do on YouTube. I was looking at that today. I was like, wow, go Rumble. Right, 13 likes. Ooh, good job, everybody. Well, tomorrow night we'll do what we were going to do tonight. Because I'm going to stay with this until we find something out. And once 10 o'clock comes, I'll see if I can find a different feed. Because I'm sure somebody's talking about it. That I'm sure of. Let's see who's live on this on YouTube. Matt Morse is on. Massive event, he said. Larry's on. But I don't know if they get mad if I restream him. If Oreo was on, I'd restream him because he'd be covering it. IRT's in California. Oh, who else? I don't see anybody else. Wait a minute. Nope. Status quo. But they talk too much. And Larry talks too much too, so we don't need a commentary. Did you guys see my little flowers in the beginning? There's gators in there, there's snakes in there, there are bumblebees in there, and all those flowers. Penguin 6? Oh, he's probably down there, isn't he? Let me find him. Pretty sure I'm subscribed to him. I always forget about him.
Quiet. We're expecting some sort of stage presentation within the next few minutes.
No, he's not live. Not anymore if he was.
Some of them were removing some salads earlier. In terms of what the program could be, I mean,
Oh.
I would imagine that Wei Zhang will try to give some details. She said a couple times that you want to know what happened, have more information. It seems like the president has to say something. I think they're going to go for the program.
I haven't even eaten all day. Don't be talking about food. I'm starving.
I don't think so. I think they want to do something. This is a celebration of personal. This is, the freedom of the press and the freedom of the press not being intimidated. What's happening?
Uh-oh.
That is now yes,
Praying, Cindy. Love you.
This was.
Shane. Okay. Good for you, Christopher. Yes, I agree with what Tina said. You better tell Teddy you're sorry. Geez, come on. Let's see if everything's good, unless there's somebody else out there. I just saw a report on, I don't know whose it was, Status Coup or whatever. I don't even know if they're good people because I never watch them. That they caught the guy, but they're not saying if he was shot or not. I bet he does, Christopher. Liberty always knows what I'm saying. All I have to say to her is, if you keep it up, you're going in the kennel. And boy, she'll settle right down. Hey, Party Bonzo, welcome in. Good to see ya. Love ya.
Yeah, Peter, I know you talked about the presidential seal on the podium. There was a staff member who just came up and took it off. Look now, I know that shot directly. But the presidential seals on the podium.
He knows more than you think he does. My puppy knows everything, and Teddy's older than my puppy, so she knows. When I tell her to go get a drink of water, she'll go over there and get a drink of water. When I tell her go eat, she'll go eat. She may not stay there, but she'll eat a couple bites and walk away. That's what I say, Party Bonza. Fight, fight, fight. I see that. Right. I need another computer. Did you guys hear that Trump canceled the Pakistan thing? Which I was glad, because I don't trust those people. Go over there and they'll shoot him and stuff. Him and JD Vance and Rubio and whoever else goes. I was very glad to hear that. There's Katie Couric. Or no, that's not Katie Couric. That's on it. She resembles Katie Couric when Katie Couric was younger. She's not young anymore.
This is a room full of reporters, so I know you've already seen the president's tweet. My apologies, his post on Truth Social. And
I got to go see it.
Law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises.
Oh, no.
Consistent with protocol. And he wanted to emphasize that nobody was hurt. He and the First Lady, the cabinet, everybody's safe. He, the president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes. That is not a joke. And he insists that we will reschedule this event in the next 30 days.
Wow.
And that he wanted to do it tonight. He wanted to continue despite the news, but has to follow security protocol. I said earlier tonight that journalism is a public service because when there is an emergency, we run to the crisis, not away from it. And on a night when we are thinking about the freedoms in the First Amendment, we must also think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do. So thank God everybody's safe. And thank you for coming together tonight. We will do this again. Thank you.
Be careful, everybody. Let's say a prayer real quick. I'm going to mute this. We'll say a prayer. Somehow I'm going to mute it if I can. All right, I'm going to stop this. Oh. Hey, where is that? Okay. I will, let's do a prayer. We need a prayer that nobody gets hurt going home. Goodness, I can't face this. There we go. Find the White House feed so when he comes on, I can show it. Cindy, to be honest, there is a pew in every room in this house, including all 3 bathrooms. Locked and loaded. These boys don't play. Okay, let's do our prayer. If everybody's ready to pray, just put a 1 in chat if you're here and you're ready to. I think this is very important. All right, Father God, we just lift our country up to you. Father, the evil, please remove it, Father God. We have prayed and prayed. We need you to heal our land, Lord. We are sorry that we allowed them to take you out of our schools, away from our children. Many have turned against you, Lord. But we need you, Lord. We need you now. We need you to save this country. I pray for protection for every single person that is at that dinner. Those inside, outside, anywhere around it, Lord, that they will be safe, that you will put angels around them to protect them. Pray for protection of our president, our vice president, his cabinet, Father God. We just pray for protection. We lift them all up to you tonight, Lord. Father, we ask you, heal our land, Lord. Heal our land. Please, Father God. We are needing you right now, Father. Heal it just like you did in the biblical times, Father. come to America and heal it. Smite all those that are against America, that are producing evil, that are hurting people and attacking people, Lord. Keep us all safe. Keep our families safe, Lord. Give us wisdom, Father. Give us strength and courage to stand up for what is right, to stand up for you, Father God, for you and no one else but you, Father God. Thank you, Lord, for hearing our prayer. Thank you, Lord, for keeping everyone safe. Thank you, Lord, for healing our land. In Jesus' mighty, mighty name we pray. Amen. Whew. I'm just going to keep this going and I'm going to go search for that one and get it queued up and ready to go. So y'all can just keep chatting while I try to find it. I can go right to that. You would think they would already have it up there. He was going to be talking. I don't see it. Yeah, haven't they, Cindy? I suppose this is what I'll do. Because they'll go right to it from here. So let me put that down there. Get back to my feed. And I will play this one because this is the White House right now. Or the channel. And I'm sure as soon as Trump starts, they'll have it up there. What's going on, Cindy? You having problems at your house? This didn't start over, did it? No. They're all supposed to be leaving. I guess some people just won't stand around. Oh, Cindy. Father God, please protect our sister Cindy and her family and those around them, Father, from whatever is going on. I pray, Father, for protection, for peace, for strength and courage for Cindy and her family and their neighbors. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Stay away from the windows. I say that, but I don't think I'd be able to do that. Smooth. There we go. I can't believe these people are still here when they were told to leave, unless this hasn't gotten to that yet, but it said it's live, so it should have. Yeah, I agree. Bitbite. They dang sure better be. Most of these people in here hate Trump. Catch them on the way out. Oh, it is empty now. I bet so, Cindy. Be careful, please. Praying for you. I'm keeping an eye out for somebody else for the. In case somebody else. He said 30 minutes, so. I'm sure Newsmax and that will be carrying it. Let's see what Newsmax I've got.
I'm talking about our home front now. They have freeze on Homeland Security. How dare you damn Democrats? You freeze so people will die. And when the attacks start occurring in our cities,
I wonder if I can restream
people are going to say, "Oh,
Newsmax." He's got a guy on there talking.
It's coming, and we have to deal with it. We must get tough. Stop the politics, and let's start putting the money where it belongs and get stronger Homeland Security.
8 p.m. Mountain Time. So what time is that Eastern Time? 9? 10?
Thanks. Yes, that was it's been more than 70 days, by the way, to Rose Point. Well, thank you. Thank you. Homeland Security is not fully funded.
I'm going to change it over to.
I was at this event. I'm
going to stop.
So. And you've been to these dinners 100 times. You know what they're like. They're about this, 15
Get rid of that one.
people in a room. And everyone's sitting around.
Go to Newsmax.
everyone starts screaming, under the table, under the table, under the table. Some people heard shots. I actually thought they were like, someone dropped a tray or something, and people went running down the aisle. But everybody is literally under the table. Chris Redding is at our table, our CEO, is telling people to get down, and it's terrifying. Okay. But anyway, people are talking rights for direct national intelligence. Jean Thoreau, there's here was there. Linda McMahon,
Senators, Reverend Franklin Graham was there. I mean, there were a lot of people whose names everybody knows that they were all there, and it's just it's the one night a year where people in the media sort of talk to each other and enjoy the people we cover. There's a lot of anticipation going into this one. Of course, the president's not fond of the media. A lot of people in the media aren't fond of the president. So, I mean, so there's some chatter about that. And of course, obviously, none of us expect this. But I will say, Ed, this was the weird part. There was almost no security. You come in and they say tickets. You flash a ticket up. You could have gotten one printed last week identically, or you could have flashed up a piece of blank paper, and then you go through the metal detector. And of course, there have been some people I've heard complain that they didn't check the bags much. Obviously, this person didn't get into the. Oh no! Don't go this. They went the wrong direction. I'm sorry. But anyway, the traffic and the security is just out of control.
Greta,
out of control.
Can I just say one quick thing, which is the White House pool, to your point about the security and the traffic. The White House pool follows the president everywhere. They'd be in a motorcade like the one we're seeing on our screen. The White House pool puts out notes, and and the bottom line is one of the reporters in that pool, and our team has just put it out, said, quote, "We are flying back to the White House, fastest motorcade I've ever seen." Meaning they were trying to get this president back to the White House. Yeah.
They you know how
I got to get rid of this loose
the vice president and remember the other people, remember the White House board are sitting up on the dais. It was like they just vacuumed it all of a sudden. They were all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh, I messed it all up. I gotta go back and get it, guys. I gotta go back and get it, guys. Oh, all right, hang on a minute. I got it.
Where it was playing out on the screen. And this might look like the aftermath of the takedown. Yeah, because the shooter appears to be on the ground, Bianca, obviously. So it's our first, we saw. Go ahead.
Ed,
Go ahead.
Ed, you just can't cannot underestimate how bad the traffic was to get into the place, and how terrible
Yeah.
the security was once you opened the door. You know, I mean, the traffic wasn't security. The traffic was just sort of a mess with a bunch of police cars stopping. Anybody could have walked in there.
Greta,
Anybody could have.
so the one thing that we're seeing now is that there appeared to be like a sheet or a towel over this shooter, and he has no shirt on. I don't know if he was a protester, had the shirt off, if law enforcement ripped his shirt off to see if he had a bomb on him, or what may have transpired. All that's going to come out, obviously, and we're going to hear from the President of the United States live, pardon me, any moment now from the White House briefing room. And oh, by the way, Greta, there's one other piece of information, which is when you read that White House pool note that says we are flying back to the White House, fastest motorcade I've ever been in, they say the motorcade was rolling at 9:46, which is only 14 minutes ago. Why is that important? Bianca, that tells us the president was still at the hotel. He did not.
Oh, yeah, they probably held him there.
They had him in a holding
held
room.
him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they probably did hold him there, Ed, because when first of all, it was raining. We're all walking in the raining to this building, and that's not raining now, but you could hear protesters. I said it sounded like protesters on the other side of the hotel. So, but that's Washington. I mean, you know, we like the First Amendment. We're proud of the First Amendment. People protest even when you don't like it. You know, we're proud of it. We don't like shootings. We don't like terrorism. We don't like anything like that. So people that's sort of ordinary. The only thing that was abnormal that I thought was the lack of security.
Yeah, well, that is abnormal. In the wake of where we are, there's, you know, a war in Iran. This is now a question we keep asking all our guests, Greta, is how is this happening? How is this allowed to happen again and again? And no one seems to really be able to answer that. The failures
well, you know,
they're going to continue.
I mean, I guess the flip side
time.
is we don't want to live in a police state either. You know,
No.
you can't shut. You know, this is a hotel, and you can't shut it down. But I think in some ways, I suspect the rain was part of the problem getting people into the building.
Yeah.
You know, because it was raining. It was be my guess. You know, because it's free. It was also cold.
Right.
And get everybody cold, and getting all these people into the building, and people who hadn't seen each other in a long time, where people are stopping to talk to each other. I talked to John Fetterman for a long time outside. I mean, there's just so much activity going on. People that you know, these are all the people in Washington who we see on the news every day, whether it's reporters, senators, cabinet officers, or in this case, the president, the vice president was there, and the first lady.
Well, the most important information seems like not just the president and first lady, but yourself and our CEO and all the reporters and guests are safe, it appears. The Secret Service statement did not say that anybody was harmed somehow, thankfully. Greta, thanks for that incredible information.
I guess rescheduling for within 30 days. That's the president's wish.
He wants to get back to it.
Have this
Greta, stand by if you can.
Thank you, Greta,
live
so
look at the
much.
White House, where the president of the United States will be addressing the reporters, but addressing the nation really any moment now. We've crossed a new hour here, just past 10 p.m. Eastern, here on Newsmax. Ed Henry and Bianca De La Garza. Let's reset. We were getting ready to go to air at about 9 p.m. Eastern, and just after 8:30 or so, 8:40, some of our team started noticing that there was activity on the stage where the president and first lady had just been seated. We were going to come to air not while they were sitting down, but when they started speaking and the dinner started going, and we started racing around and getting out of tape so that we could be live, because there was some incident and all we could see was that the president was rushed off the stage. We didn't know his status. We didn't know if he and the first lady were safe because they were taken away. There were reports of gunshots, and there were almost a SWAT team from the U.S. Secret Service. There's the moment on the left that I'm describing. We initially, since we were not live at that second, were told about it and jumped into action here, because within a couple of minutes of what you see on the left, the right side is a live look, a SWAT team basically from the U.S. Secret Service was on that stage, and you can see some of them running through the halls. This is the Washington Hilton. This is where Ronald Reagan was shot. Now there's the SWAT team I mentioned on the left. When the president's on the golf course now these days, by the way, there are teams like that with helmets, with masks, with cameras. There are drones. When he is anywhere now, so one would presume they had some of that outside the hotel as well. We still don't know how many shots, but it has been confirmed to be a quote unquote shooting by the U.S. Secret Service, Bianca. And again, their statement doesn't say that anyone's been harmed. The president himself has been on True Social saying he's safe.
Yeah.
I just want to bring in John Nance because we may hear from the president any moment. We'll have to interrupt you, John. But John is a retired FBI supervisory special agent. We always appreciate your insight. Before we get the president, what do you make of what has unfolded tonight, John?
Well, I think the primary concern is, was this individual a lone wolf, or is there some kind of coordinated effort here? And I know that the FBI is going to be working very, very diligently to get to the bottom of that question as quickly as possible. Because if there are foreign actors that are involved, we're going to want to know this, especially given the geopolitical environment that we're in, but also the political environment. I don't want to jump the gun, so to speak, but we're in a political environment where Trump is constantly being called a king or a Nazi or whatever. So it's a very, very heated environment, and it seems that security really did its job.
John,
I mean, from what? Sure.
we know that the FBI field office from Washington is there along with Secret Service.
Jay
President
Keeps,
Trump,
I can't with
latest is that he is
RSBN
the
or
cause
any
for
of those
Trump's White
guys.
House.
And there's the
We
White House
are
podium on
I'll
the
get
left.
a
President Trump to
strike.
address
They don't let
the-
you do it.
the world
You have
today right
to
there from
become a
you see the White
member and
House
pay
podium.
each month.
There
for it.
is a report coming in on the New York Post, John. I want to get your perspective on
I
this.
wish I could.
There is somebody who says they were there as a volunteer at the dinner, and they say this suspected gunman appeared to assemble a long weapon in a lightly monitored area near a terrace level entrance before opening fire and rushing towards the ballroom. This is a volunteer telling this to the New York Post.
I do, Cindy.
Helen
I'm
Mabus
praying
from
for you,
Harrisburg,
sweetie.
Pennsylvania. She said
You've
there's
been
this
through a lot.
makeshift room near the entrance where bar carts were being stored, where there
Get 'em
was
in,
no
Tamara.
security at the time. No
Come over here.
security at the time.
What's your reaction,
When you
John? Now,
get
this is an
moved, I'll have my
unconfirmed
desk.
report. It's
I
in the
won't
New
have
York
to deal
Post,
with you.
but someone got a weapon in there. How could that happen when everybody in the world knew the president
You
would
guys
be
hear
there and
me?
the Secret Service has known this event has been on the books for a year? They do it a year in advance.
that
Now, the
seems-
president only confirmed his attendance there in the last month or two, but they've had a lot of time to plan, John.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I agree. If that's what occurred, that
You
is
don't
a
know if I got the
tremendous
microphone
problem.
on
Now,
or
I've
not. I
heard
can't
conflicting
see.
reports. I've heard that this individual rushed a magnetometer station. If that's correct, and uniformed Secret Service engaged this individual, then that's what they were supposed to do. That's what they were there for. So that's the genesis of the origin of my statement with regard to it seems like security did its job. Now, if this is true that this individual entered some portion of the building that was not secured, that is of great concern, and that question will have to be resolved. And the Secret Service, I'm sure, will conduct their investigation from a security perspective while the FBI conducts its national security.
what's
investigation.
amazing too is President Trump wants this rescheduled. So everything we're looking at
Okay,
here,
good.
President Trump says within 30 days. Now, of course, a lot can change between that actually happening, but President Trump is obviously wanted this opportunity to have this dinner. Is not going to let a gunman who's now in custody
Thank you,
change
Tracy.
that.
Thank
It has
you,
changed things dramatically tonight.
Cindy.
A lot of
Thank
different
you
reports
for,
again. Yeah, we'll see if this report about a makeshift room. But we have heard from several people that security felt very lax upon entry. When Ed and I attended together 2 years ago, there were people outside, but there was a big barrier, and they were coming up. It was right after October 7th, and they had red, handprints, and they were coming up trying to scare people. They were very
Anti-Israel
antagonistic.
protesters.
They
knows.
wanted to tussle, and they had their cameras in your face. They were ready. So I don't know tonight if someone's rushing a magnetometer. I mean, this potentially, this is the type of climate that these people are out there. They are looking for a
Don't
fight.
come over
And
here.
if you are a member of the media
Go get a toy.
in this room, they are definitely
Oh.
out there trying to be aggressive and get in. So I mean, there could have been. Who knows within these large
No.
crowds. So just talk to us about now with President Trump
He said no.
going to address the nation. How much do you think he can share?
Lay
I
down,
mean,
right
obviously
there.
there's things he's not going to be able to share about what he's
on
being
your
told.
laptop.
But he's the most transparent president we've ever had. He wants people to see him, to hear him, to know he looks good. Who knows? He might even have some members of his cabinet out there with him tonight.
Yeah, to
say
show
this is
of force.
unacceptable.
Go ahead, John.
Well, you have to admire Trump's courage. I mean, I haven't seen
Yeah.
this this kind of fearlessness in the face of danger in a
look
very,
at your
very long time. I mean, unfortunately,
let's go.
Trump has been
Give your kennel. I
subjected
thought you'd lay down.
to dangerous situations that he should not have been subjected to. You know, and I think that we're going to hear everything
love
that
you, Cindy.
Trump
When you hurt, we
can
hurt.
tell us in these very,
No,
very
leave.
early
I'm sure she
stages
had to, because
Yeah.
this guy.
investigation.
John, there's one piece of information I'm just noticing came over the Reuters wire a couple moments ago while we were talking, so I'm catching up here. An FBI official, that's the agency you used to work at, obviously, is telling Reuters that the suspect fired initially at a Secret Service agent. That would presume because the Secret Service statement, and this is now the suspect that was taken down, the Secret Service statement first said that it happened near one of the main magnetometers on the way in, where Secret Service would be manning those X-ray and metal detectors. This FBI official is adding the suspect fired at a Secret Service agent, presumably at that magnetometer, and that the agent is fine. I bring that up, John, because what does that tell us? That the initial security may have worked, obviously, in the sense that if the gun, it shouldn't have been in this unsecured room. Maybe the guy tried to assemble it. We're going to find that out. But then as he tried to come through, the bottom line is he fired at a Secret Service agent to try to get in the ballroom and either missed or was stopped. And then they took him to the ground. John, real quick on that, and then we're going to move on.
Well, what that tells me is this seems to me at first blush to be more of a self-radicalized individual, because bum rushing the magnetometers with armed, uniformed Secret Service and plainclothes Secret Service does
Need a
not
National
seem like
Guard
a
everywhere.
very good idea. So this tells me, at least initially, that this individual does not strike me as someone who is trained or had a very
Probably just a
thorough
protester,
plan
got
in
paid to
mind.
do it.
Yeah, clearly. John
It's
Nance,
not-
it is good to have you. Certainly appreciate your perspective. Retired FBI supervisory special agent. Thank you so much for joining us. I believe we still have Rob Schmidt, who was in the room as the shots were fired, and we now have established a connection with him again. Rob, can you hear us? Ed and Bianca here in the studio. All right,
his
so
name
just
bit by
walk us through
Thomas
what went
Allen?
down, how it unfolded from your perspective there inside the Hilton this evening.
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, we're all in there. It's a big room. It's down like underneath the Hilton Hotel. So you're down like 2 floors down. The internet's terrible. You can't get you can't get service. It makes it complicated. And we're sitting there and, you got music playing, a lot of people talking. All of a sudden you just hear like bang, 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 bang. And you just knew it was gunshots. And everybody was a little confused. Some people maybe thought it was a band or something like that. And then Secret Service just going nuts. They run toward Trump. We're about, 75 yards from at our table. And they pull him out immediately. They start pulling everybody else out. And you couldn't really, it was hard because you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You're trying to look for the guy. And the guy never obviously got into the actual ballroom that we were in. I don't know how, I'm still trying to figure out how close they were, because I couldn't really get any information as it was happening. I just got out of there.
Yeah.
But it was loud enough that you knew he was reasonably close. The gunfire, I think most of it was probably just Secret Service taking him down, or maybe he did fire. I'm not sure. And it sounds like he might still be alive, which is.
Yeah, Rob, Reuters is
wild.
reporting,
Yeah.
pardon me, that the gunman allegedly fired at a Secret Service agent. So there was at least one shot, missed that agent. And then I think to your point, Rob, absolutely. Then the Secret Service starts bang, bang. And he's alive, though. We have pictures, we have video of this suspect on the ground, handcuffs behind his back, no shirt, but appears to be alive. Pick it up there.
Was there one or two?
Yeah, that's why I just saw one still image that I saw on Twitter as I've been getting out of there. But I mean, it's just, it's crazy. You're sitting in there, and the funny thing is, we were walking in, and I'm walking in with this buddy of mine, a Bedminster guy, and we got our tickets out, and they're just looking at these tickets like you're walking into a book signing, at Walden Books, and you're just like, what the hell? Like this is it? And then we're all the way in the hotel now, and we're getting deep into the hotel, and still nobody's even checked us out. Nobody cares. Like anybody can just walk in, anybody can walk out. You get all the way down, like one floor down, and you finally see, the little airport security thing for Secret Service. Like, okay, here we finally go. But it just felt really lax. It felt really it felt like a secretary was there and not Trump. It felt like Dr. Oz was speaking.
Mm.
That's how it felt to me.
And
And
Dr.
I'm like,
Oz
this is just weird.
Was there. Members of the
They did.
cabinet were there. I mean, President Trump and the First Lady, Vice President Vance also there
The
on
vice
the
was
stage.
there. I mean, we walked in right behind Kennedy and his wife, and then I watched as Kennedy was rushed out. Just not too long after that, because I got there kind of late.
And here's
they're pulling
Dave
Vance off. We're watching video. Them
We
pulling
just got
the
new
Vice
video on
President.
the other side of the stage. So the president was, when you're looking at the stage on the left side, as you know, the vice president on the right side. We've just got new
Separate
video.
ways.
Vice president was rushed out there as quickly as the president, Rob.
Right. Yeah, they moved. It was really quick. I mean, as soon as I was trying to get my phone up, and I just got Weijia Jiang, who's the head of the association. I got them moving her out. I missed Trump getting moved out by a few seconds, but it's all on television. You've seen it anyway. But I was just trying to get the shot. Everybody was under their tables, like ducked down. Like you just can't. It's like, how many times are they going to try and kill this guy? I mean, it's just. I mean, the tolerant left.
Horrible.
Welcome to it. I mean, it's like, how many times are they going to try and do this? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Rob, tonight was supposed to be his first White House Correspondents' Dinner that he attended, kind of, to give the press, after not going for so many years. He says he's going to reschedule it. We know that there are a lot of people in that room, who obviously not the biggest Trump fans. Your final thoughts here tonight, in the mood tonight in Washington, D.C., now that you've left the Hilton?
It just, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, as I was walking in on this rainy night, and there's just all these, lunatic protesters screaming, and all these weird boomer people that just have no lives, and they're just so angry. And you walk in and you get the arrogant media, and you see, we were sitting really close to CNN and stuff, and it's just kind of a funny atmosphere anyway. And you're like, Trump's actually here. He's actually going to do it. I've been waiting for this for 5 years of his presidency, for him to just lambaste the media to their face. I was so excited for it. I came down here for this. And then this happens, and you're like, this is the picture of the left. This is what we've done to the left. These people have been propagandized by the party, by the media, to become this violent, because it's for the political gain of their system.
And Rob,
this is what you get.
You've chronicled it on Rob Schmidt tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern every weeknight. Make sure you're watching that. The Democrats have also prevented the Department of Homeland Security, Rob, from having full funding for over 70 days. Your final point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's just the kind of the cherry on top of all of it.
Yeah.
Is the protection angle, because it's certainly, I don't know if it would have been any better if they were funded. I can't say that it would have been. Maybe it wouldn't have been. But this was a pitiful display of security. Again, it felt like Dr. Oz was speaking tonight and not Donald Trump.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're safe, and everyone is. Thank you, Rob, for jumping on a phone call with us.
Of course.
Obviously, we'll be talking very soon, looking at video of the shooter, looking at video of this all unfolding. Hard to imagine yet again that this is the situation.
And the President of the United States will be live. You can see at the bottom of the screen there. That is the White House briefing room. We're showing video above that from over an hour ago, when the President and First Lady were rushed off the stage along with the Vice President and other dignitaries. Now a live look inside the White House briefing room. I would add one other thing, which is, it's easy to forget that Erica Kirk was there as a VIP guest.
Yep.
And I'm seeing reports that she was rushed out as well. And could you imagine a widow after your husband was assassinated just in September, and now you hear gunshots again at an event where there's all these politicians and high-profile event? I mean, this obviously the violence has to stop, but also the dangerous rhetoric.
She actually was not at an event last week that Vance went at because it was just too
There were
hot for her
threats,
to be
alleged.
there. And Carrie Lake is joining us now on the telephone. She
Carrie
was
Lake,
also
that's
in
who
the
that
room
was.
this evening there when shots rang out, another attempted assassination of President Trump. Carrie, it's great to have you. Bianca and Ed here. Just walk us through what you saw, what you heard when this was unfolding.
Ooh, well, I wish I could say I'm surprised, but the mood of the country, thanks to the fake news, pushing hatred for so long, is what it is right now. And I will admit, when I walked into this event tonight, I was really looking forward to the president speaking tonight. I think he was going to have a, knockout speech, and that was going to be funny and a huge win for him. But I also knew I was walking into a room of 90% of the people who despise the president. They're members of the fake news. And I expected to see scrutinizing of my ticket, my identification to be shown, as if I were to, show up at an event like I have many times at the White House and other events. They take a look at your ID, they check their database, this was so lax tonight. And I thought, wow, how weird. Like, they asked for my ticket. I pulled it out. I didn't even show them the front of the ticket. They saw the back of the ticket and they were like, fine, go on in. And, you know, let's think about it. I was surrounded by people who work for CNN. Think what CNN has been spewing for years against the president. There's a lot of people who despise the president in that room, and to have security that lax. We got seated tonight and we started to, you know, talk to one another, and we were eating our salad and looking forward to the president. Beautiful Melania Trump, the first lady, walked out with the president. J.D. Vance was there, our vice president. Every secretary of every major, you know, agency in the government was there. And all of a sudden, some loud bangs were heard. I didn't recognize them as gunfire, but everybody hit the ground. We all hit the ground. I was sitting next to Chris Ruddy, and he said that was gunfire. And I looked up, and I'm just about to post this on my social media, and there were special forces, the Secret Service, I'm not sure from which branch of the military, literally running tabletop to tabletop with massive weapons and clearing out the room. I saw Bobby Kennedy being rushed out. President by then was already rushed out. Vice President was rushed out. And there were incredible amounts of Secret Service military that were taking charge of the room. I don't know if they captured whoever was the instigator.
They have.
He
is in custody. There's a report, though, that an officer was shot in a bullet-resistant vest. He's expected to be okay, Carrie. But the shooter is in custody. We have video of it up right now. The shooter is in custody. Unclear.
I will tell you, I'm sorry, but guys, I walked out, and I walked out as a complete. I'm sorry, he's a fool. Walking out next to Jake Tapper, and I looked at him and I said, "How dare you? You have caused so much division in this country, pushing lies." I said, "You know, we're not going to call it gaslighting anymore. You've lied to the people. How dare you do that?" And I saw so many people from all of these news outlets who've just spread abject lies about President Trump over the years. They're part to blame of this. And I don't mean to get dramatic tonight, but I, as an American mother and an American, I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of the fake news that has just spread nothing but lies, trying to hurt this president, trying to go against the American people. And I couldn't sit there silent and walk out next to somebody like a Jake Tapper and act like he's a good guy.
Yeah. Well, how
people,
the media, Carrie, to your point, handles this story, and whether they tell the truth about the threats to this president and the dangerous rhetoric and all that. Your quick final thought, because we're getting closer to the president coming out.
Well, I hope the president delivers what he was going to deliver tonight, which is probably going to be sharp, poignant, and funny.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know who was in charge of security tonight. I felt it was lax. I was very concerned walking in. I thought this is very lax. I've been to a million of these events with the president, never seen it this lax, especially considering the group that we were in. And you know, I think the media from CNN, who I sat and talked to, and I don't play around. I don't act like I like people when I'm in public with them because I'm sitting next to them and we're at an event that's a party. I told the people at CNN, you guys have been derelict in your duties to the American people. I'm always going to do that because I think that as a journalist, you have a duty to tell the truth. And I'm glad that Newsmax is doing that. I look forward to seeing with the president. I'm about 2 blocks from the event, waiting for my ride to pick me up. We never had our dinner. We never had the enjoyment of hearing the president speak, but we know that we support him.
Yep.
And we're glad he's safe.
We are.
Yep. And we're glad he's safe. Carrie, we're glad you're safe as well. Thank you, Carrie Lake. We'll keep this rolling. By the way, the president's political team just put out a text that a friend shared saying, "I'm addressing the nation at this hour on a matter of great importance. Tune in live. God bless you and God bless the United States of America."
Amen.
Now, if he's just alerting people, you know, to the idea that, hey, I'm addressing this situation, I want you to know, that's one thing. But he says, "I'm addressing the nation on a matter of great importance." I don't know if that suggests that law enforcement has gotten a piece of information about who's behind this or not. I'm not going to speculate. I know we're not going to, but why the president's team put that out to say, hey, this is a matter of great importance. It might just be the threat to the nation. It might be about the threat to the president that is ongoing, but it's interesting.
I know a lot of people were hoping to hear from the president in the more jubilant way his speech would be if he was inside the Hilton tonight, but we will be hearing from the president and we will be hearing from him.
Okay,
at the
we
White
have
House
video
podium.
now of Erica Kirk being evacuated, I believe, which we're going to put up. I mentioned that a moment ago. Her husband was just assassinated
Oh,
only a few
Charlie.
months ago
I still
in
wear
September.
my
I think we're trying to rack that
We Are
video.
Charlie.
And she was unable to go to
bracelet.
one of her own turning point
There it
events.
is.
Only
Okay.
take it off when I
So
shower.
she was
last
being
week.
taken out, obviously, with some friends and colleagues. Make sure she was safe. Don't want to dramatize it, but it was only a few months ago that, and you can see she looks upset. It was only a few months ago that her husband was gunned down on that college campus.
Oh, I
Let's
will,
get more
Party Buns.
information
I'm
now
not going
before
nowhere.
we hear from the president directly, from Scott Duffy. He's a retired FBI supervisory special agent. And Scott is kind enough to join us. You can see some of the reporters are in the briefing room in gowns, in black tie as well. Scott, give me one quick point here about what you know about this situation, what you've seen before we hear from the president, real quick.
Yeah, hearing exactly what Carrie Lake was talking about and so forth. A shooter, single shooter outside the venue, right at the security checkpoint. And I can imagine when you have both the president, the vice president, as well as cabinet members, that you have an extremely stepped up security measure.
There's reports that the FBI interviewing guests as they left the ballroom. I want to bring in now the CEO of Newsmax, Chris Ruddy, who was in the room.
Minute warning. Thank you,
there.
Vicky.
Hi, Chris. We're glad you're able to join us. Talk to us about the table full of dignitaries. You're there with members
What
of
an
our
amazing
team.
night. Yeah. It's just, well, we're in the middle of a war. A lot of strange things are happening. We were hosting a dinner. And, Greta was there, Rob Schmidt. We had Franklin Graham, the British ambassador. And we were seated in the middle of the correspondence dinner, very much close to the center aisle. And everybody heard gunshots or explosions of some sort.
Thank you,
and
Mara.
we could see people
Glad
were
you're
starting to
seeing.
take cover. We all went under the table. And
I should have had it on
was
the
a
news
harrowing
channel.
moment for a bit. You know, the president
No, that's a
rushed
prayer
off
channel.
the
I took
stage.
the other
saw
news
that.
channel down.
There were various. I
This
saw
is
Robert
fine.
Kennedy, for instance, was in the audience. The Secret Service grabbed him. A number of the Trump cabinet that were in the audience grabbed them and removed them. And we didn't have a lot of direction on what was going on. We knew that there was
Make
gunshots.
sure you
We
hit
knew
the like,
somebody. Then
the
we heard
thumbs up,
somebody had been
share it
shot.
out. People need to see this.
So, Chris, what do you expect? This is a moment now for the president. We've
Share
got
it
a
with your
live look
friend, your-
at the podium
your-
in the White House briefing room, and he stayed behind the scenes here in a holding room
Democratic
for about an
friends.
hour
I
before
did.
heading back to the White House. There was some consideration that the event would go forward, but law enforcement suggested he leave, and he did with the First Lady. What do you anticipate from him? I mean, this is obviously a moment, as you mentioned, we're at war.
Well,
this president's under threat.
Yeah, number one rule in any of these type of things: is it a lone gunman or is there a larger
you,
group
Mel.
involved? So I didn't know that they kept them in a holding room, but it makes sense, right? Because they're afraid they did this shooting and then somebody's going to be waiting for him as he's exiting the building, right? So that's what they were worried, that there was more people involved, and it was clear to us they were keeping us all. We were in the room, everybody's standing up, nobody knows what's going on. We did hear somebody was shot, and that the president was even thinking of coming back. He wanted to come back and continue the dinner. And then apparently the Secret Service somewhat overruled
Why
him
isn't
and
the
said,
National Guard
this
there
is not a very
protecting
good idea.
everybody?
There might be other security threats. We should get you to a secure location.
I
So
think
the
we need
dinner
the
has
National
ended.
Guard
We are out
everywhere.
on the streets here walking to our
My nephew
car
would get
so
out
we
of.
can exit as well.
He's
But
over
it has
in
created a
Europe.
lot of mayhem, and you know, the big thing is the president is safe.
Maybe he would
Cabinet
get to
safe,
come
and the
home and
government,
come to
nobody
DC.
else. Additionally, the Secret Service seems to have acted very promptly in dealing with the threat and terminating the threat.
Chris, I want to add one thing. Carol Markowitz from the New York Post is among those reporting now that their initial reports are the attempted shooter at this dinner is 31-year-old Thomas Allen from Torrance, California, and that he is the gentleman in custody that we've seen video of, Chris. And there are other online, and these are initial reports, so we want to be careful and not speculate. Initial reports suggesting that he's an educator in Torrance, California. And
Okay, Kathy.
obviously, there's
Love
been
you.
a lot
Thank
of
you for being
online
here.
hate directed at this president. I'll leave it at that for now. Presumably, the president's been briefed on these details, Chris. But this shooter is alive right now, so they're going to be able to question him. In other situations, like Butler, the shooter was killed, and we didn't get more information. Your
Right.
thoughts?
Look, I don't know like who the person is involved. I'm going to reserve comment to be here, but obviously there's a lot of hate online. The media is propelling a lot of this hate. It's crazy. And the Trump derangement syndrome. And we're in the middle of a war. We're actually two wars, right? There's one in Ukraine, there's one in Russia, with
Okay,
Russia,
Cindy.
and then there's the Iranian war.
Absolutely, pardon,
Right,
Monza,
serious time.
absolutely.
I think everybody
Not
should
just,
be on high
they have
alert.
to vote in their
Certainly, I think they're
primaries.
taking a
That's
lot of
so
extra
important.
precautions with the president, and this was one of them. Obviously, they moved them out very quickly. I think the Service did a good job from what I see. But we need to wait before we make more judgments about what was involved.
Right.
We're praying for you still, Kathy.
Absolutely. And Chris,
But we
some
had
people
have
said,
Franklin Graham was there, and Greta.
Yeah.
They were all very concerned. We had the British ambassador at our table. But they're all concerned about the heightened security risk around the president.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin, I know, is very praying for the president at this time. He told me that.
You're welcome,
So we're
sweetie.
going to continue to work.
I love to
and
pray for
monitor the
people.
situation.
there's so many festivities planned this year, Chris, for 250th America. This is a time where there's going to be a lot of events that Americans will want to go to, big crowds. I mean, there were some, we spoke to Rob Schmidt a few minutes ago. He felt security wasn't really up to what he thought the level could have been. Was there anything you took away with all the dignitaries that were there with you at our table this evening? You're walking in. Did you feel that security was sufficient, or did anything stand out
Well,
to you?
I don't want to make any judgment about the security or lack of security. I just don't know enough to say it right now. But I think that they obviously eliminated the threat pretty quickly. We just heard, I could hear gunshots. There were some people that said, "Oh, there were no gunshots." No, I heard at least 2, maybe 3 thuds, and they were outside the room. So like the gunshots fired, not immediate. You hear it differently than you would if it was an earshot. So.
Yeah. Chris, there's also online right now, Meghan McCain, among others, is saying, I don't want to hear one more bleeping criticism of Trump's new ballroom at the White House, meaning, the president's taken a lot of heat for having private donors put this together. And the president has made the point that the White House ballroom not only will be beautiful, as he says, but it will be secure and there'll be a bunker under it. And that the threat matrix, Chris, has changed a lot in just the last few years.
Well, I don't know, Megan, what she's putting out, but I think it's premature to make any comment about the ballroom. I'm not sure how that has to do with this. The president could be anywhere and have a security threat. I'm not sure the ballroom ameliorates that situation. Look, the press has a right to criticize the ballroom if they want. It's a free country, right? But, the hate that's put out about the president, I think is a problem. And that's driving a lot of this, where people actually taking violent means. We're coming up to a very significant election. We have a war going on. And so, it's something we've all got to pull together on.
And
that
Chris,
we're not going to accept this.
As someone who's known the president for a long time, and we see his resilience, if you will, even on display tonight as we were looking here live. One side is the ballroom, the other side is the podium where he will emerge, and we will hear him now within just 2 hours of having shots again fired in a room. Obviously, the intent was he was the target. Just talk to us about the person that you've known here, now the leader of the free world, who is going to come out, who is going to speak, and the message he will deliver that will be heard by our adversaries as well, and those who do want to do him harm.
The president, he knows that it was a high risk when he ran for president, that he would have threats. He was a celebrity before that. He had certain threats, but it's escalated significantly. And I think it's a sacrifice he and his family have made for the good of the country. No. And they're willing to accept it, but they want to be secure, as like anybody would. I think the Secret Service, in this case, Butler was a bit of a disaster. I think everybody agrees with that. But it looks like they acted promptly. We'll wait to hear what the details are involved before we make any judgment about
Chris,
it.
there's one new detail. The president has just put on Truth Social. Presumably he'll talk about it. And here he is, video of the shooter running past Secret Service and getting shot. So here's the president. Let's listen to it.
Well, thank you very much. That was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way, very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now, put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different, because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the DC police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people. And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, And I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words. I know we're going to have cash, and then you're going to go on. We can ask. I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady for. That was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to say tonight, I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you. Dr. Patel.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. President. The president's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country. And that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty because we have leadership here with the president, the vice president that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started, and we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, we'll do a couple and then we go to the chief. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. It's happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand. It was.
They took it off. Somebody took it off. Oh, there we go. I gotta bring it back. Okay.
That. And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No,
indoor?
well, but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what do you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there. They were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know, I'm not going to be, I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the
Thank you.
suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly. No, there was no notification. We had no idea. Go ahead,
Do you know
Kevin.
any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. He's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. They had him down. He was fighting hard. He was in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detailees take minutes to be escorted out the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think. I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, it's my life. And I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's you, as well as some of us who have covered Butler, experienced another horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening?
Well, I can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job, in my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. And if he didn't do it now, he's David. His name was David. I say, hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired. And if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed. We lost one great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so in a sense, it was pretty amazing the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot. As you know, they should have had that covered. Tonight, they had everything covered very quickly. And he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. He hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight, but I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor? And has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just look, it's not my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people. These are crazy people, and they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt, as you know, and he's spending life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know, I think very shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically motivated.
All violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%. But if you take presidents, it's 5.8%. And about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah, well,
what does that say about our country?
We're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
Turn that temperature down at this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I seek to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. We did it in 1 year. And I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was the road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%. So, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target.
Drink of water.
I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, "You are in a dangerous job," but that goes along with her too. I mean, it's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight. We heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Can we hear from her about?
Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Okay.
Millions of people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? They can make trouble. Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like
Matt Dillon.
somebody that knew what they were doing. What do we do? But it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So the president, the vice president, the acting attorney general, half the cabinet was there. He made a reference
FBI
to
Director Kash Patel.
Pete Hegseth there, Secretary of War. Looks like he's filing out a lot of new information from the president. The first thing I don't want to miss is he said that the suspect had multiple weapons. Did you catch that? Because we knew about one gun that may have been assembled in another room. He spoke to the officer. The president spoke to some law enforcement officer.
I agree,
There were initial
Cindy,
reports that
but
it was
I just
Secret
want
Service
everybody
agent.
to know I pray
It's
every
unclear.
day
He said an
for each
officer
and every
who
one of
was
you
hit
and
by
your
at least one
families,
bullet, but was wearing a
children,
bulletproof vest
grandchildren.
and is in good spirits and healthy, it sounds like.
He says, we talked to him, we told him we love him. Again, good spirits, which is the best news. Also identifying that shooter. He is Cole Tomas Allen, 31 years old, from Torrance, California. So that is the suspect. Search warrants are being executed as we speak. They want to find out if this is a lone wolf. President Trump answering multiple questions about how it felt tonight, as once again he is the target of an
He
assassination.
said people need to come together and resolve their differences peacefully. This has happened too much. I would also quickly note before we get to our guests that there was some levity where the president said, boy, I was ready to rip it and go after the media. But I think the next time this is assembled in the next 30 days, maybe I'll be a little lighter on the press, because obviously the tone has changed. But I just want to add one thing. So Robert Kennedy's son has posted a text exchange with his father and his father's wife, Cheryl Hines, the actress. And he wrote, "Pops, you okay?" Cheryl Hines wrote, "It was crazy. Bobby's security team came in so fast and took us out of the building. They were lifting me over chairs." Very serious, right?
Right, right.
And Dad knew, I guess this is Dad's new cell phone, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., quote, "I'm really hungry." Because I guess they never got served dinner. So there is a little
Well, maybe
levity. 'Cause
President Trump
nobody-
is going to get Big Macs for them at the White House.
Unbelievable.
It
So-
is a lot of levity. He came out his first line, says that was unexpected.
Exactly.
And they're in the tuxes and
Okay,
black
I'm gonna
ties.
stop this. You guys can watch the rest of it. Oh no, hold on. Okay, everybody, you're welcome, Party Bonza. I am gonna go get myself something to eat. I haven't eaten. It's been I ate yesterday about 4 o'clock. I'm starving myself. Literally, I'm starving myself. I do that all the time. All right, guys, let me turn the camera on. Let's see, camera on. Make this bigger. I love you all. Thank you for being here tonight. Pray for each other. And you guys are the best. I don't care what anybody says. You're the best. I'll be praying for each and every one of you tonight. Cindy, Mel, your brother Rick, absolutely in my prayers. Peace and love. Stay safe. Smile at a stranger. Pray for our J6ers. Pray for each other and their grandchildren, their children, their spouses, brothers, sisters. And I'll see you all tomorrow night on Tina's. God bless you all. Peace. Hater out. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you more than you know.